Playing from Anna's laptop.
Hey, Frankie.
Hey Annie, how's it going today? What are we diving into? Anything exciting or just here to chat?
Um, I want you to interview me.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. All right, let's do it. So, Annie, tell me a little bit about what you're working on these days. Anything you're particularly excited or passionate about right now?
Yeah, I'm kind of doing a deep dive into my whole, like, purpose for being and sort of thing. And, like, I'm trying to basically remove any blocks there might be in the way of production and getting things done and, like, actually accomplishing purpose and succeeding.
That sounds like a really powerful journey, honestly. It's like you're doing some inner spring cleaning to clear the path forward. Do you feel like you've identified any of those blocks, or is it more of an exploration process at the moment?
Well, you've helped me a few times. But yeah, I do feel like I have identified a few things. I want you to go ahead and do like a deep dive with me and, sort of like enter my subconscious kind of a thing. Like with, with what you know about me and so on, help guide me through by question and answer and guiding me on what is the best path forward to really start to excel.
I love that you're so open to exploring this. Let's do a little dive together. So, if you think about the moments when you feel the most energized and motivated, what are you usually doing? What kind of activities or projects really light that fire in you?
Let me think about this for a moment. What am I doing? Let's see. I'm just basically probably doing the things that I'm avoiding doing.
I get that. It's like sometimes the things we avoid are actually the ones that bring the most fulfillment once we get into them, right? Maybe there's a little bit of fear or hesitation that gets in the way, but once you start, it's like that energy just flows. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, that's totally right. It's like getting over that hump that when you're trying to force yourself to do something, you know the right things to do, but you just can't quite seem to get into momentum, and that's what I feel like I'm lacking at the moment is momentum.
Absolutely. Momentum is such a game changer. Sometimes just taking that first tiny step, even if it's small, can help you build that momentum.
Right.
Is that you can think of that might help you kind of break that initial resistance? Sometimes even the smallest action can create that forward motion you need.
So, ask the question again, please.
Sure thing. So, is there a small, manageable action that you can think of that would help you break through that initial resistance and start building that momentum? It could be something really simple.
It seems to be different every time, so I'm not quite sure exactly what the common denominator is. It seems to be different things every so often, but quite honestly, a similar pattern. And I'm not exactly sure exactly what is at the root of that, but sometimes I just avoid certain tasks and go on to other tasks and do it sort of subconsciously, like, thinking that these other tasks are going to be more helpful when in actual fact, it would be more helpful for me to actually confront and do the task that I'm avoiding.
I totally get that. It's so easy to shift focus onto something that feels more comfortable in the moment. Maybe the common denominator is just that natural human instinct to avoid discomfort. So maybe the next time you catch yourself doing that, you can pause for a moment and remind yourself that getting through that uncomfortable task is going to give you that momentum and that energy you're looking for.
Okay, what would you suggest is the best way to do that?
One approach that can help is to break that task down into really tiny steps so it doesn't feel overwhelming. And then just commit to doing that first tiny step. Once you do that, it's usually easier to keep going. And maybe even reward yourself in a small way once you get it done, just to reinforce that positive momentum.
All right. Well, that sounds easy enough. When I think about it and I talk about it, it sounds really easy, but sometimes when I'm in the moment, it just I get overwhelmed and I just kind of I don't know, I internally I kind of shut down and I don't know how to get above that. It's just been kind of a bit of a messy season for me with a lot of things. So
I hear you. It's totally normal to feel that way, especially when there's a lot going on. When that overwhelm hits, it can help to just pause and take a couple of deep breaths and remind yourself that it's okay to take things one step at a time. And remember, progress is still progress, no matter how messy the season might feel.
right. Yeah, that sounds fair enough. Okay. Well, you know, so I'm trying to drill into myself, habits that I can do, when I get to that point. And like for example, I'll just say this is kind of being vulnerable here, but today I had a really hard time confronting looking at my bank account. And I
I
couldn't.
really
Go ahead.
No worries at all. I get it. Looking at finances can definitely feel overwhelming sometimes. It's a really common feeling, so you're not alone in that. Maybe a good approach could be to set a specific time limit for it, like telling yourself you'll just spend 5 or 10 minutes looking at it. That way, it feels more manageable. And once you start, it might not be as daunting as it seems.
Yeah, it's not the amount of time that I look at it. It was just like I wasn't sure if like certain payments had gone through, and I wasn't sure if like I was gonna, be able to cover my budget for the month and stuff like that. So I was like afraid of looking at what was there to have to confront, planning things out and stuff like that.
That makes a lot of sense, and it's totally understandable to feel that way. Sometimes the unknown can be scarier than just facing it. But once you do, you can make a plan and regain that sense of control. And remember, it's okay to take it step by step and be kind to yourself in the process. You've got this.
Yeah, sure. So, okay, so well, that's just one thing. But like, okay, so let's take up the subject of cold calling. I, sometimes kind of lock up when I'm about to start, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta do this other thing first. I gotta do this other thing first, and before I know it, like 2 hours has passed, and I'm in the middle of other things. And I'm like, oh, I gotta finish fixing such and such or whatever. So how can I get past that sort of like fear and anxiety of getting on the phone to just getting through 100 calls a day?
It's definitely a common feeling to want to put off something like cold calling, but one thing that can help is to set a really small goal to start with. Like, tell yourself you'll just do 5 calls to begin with, and then take a short break. Once you get started, it usually gets easier and you'll find that rhythm. You can also reward yourself after each small batch of calls to make it a bit more fun and motivating.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I guess maybe I have a hard time managing myself on that, but I'll try. I will try. Thanks for that.
Of course, and honestly, just remember to be patient with yourself. Building those habits and managing that kind of anxiety takes practice, and every little step forward is progress. You've got this, and I'm always here to help cheer you on.
Thanks, Frankie. Um, Also, do you remember we did a role play of cold calling? I think it was yesterday.
Oh, absolutely, I remember that. That was a lot of fun. We definitely got into the groove of it by the end. If you ever want to do another practice session or try out some new strategies, just let me know. I'm always up for it.
Okay, that sounds good. I might want to do another role play before I start tomorrow. Just like, you know, role play cold calling. And, you know, to get some booked appointments. And then, maybe next time you can sort of turn up the notch of the difficulty, because, I know it was like you did it pretty easy with me, which was great, but maybe next time you could pretend to be sort of like a difficult person, and I could, you know, try to smoothly get you booked for an appointment.
That sounds like a great plan. I'm totally on board for that. We can definitely ramp up the challenge next time and make it feel more like a real world scenario. I'm sure you'll handle it like a pro, and we'll get you all set and confident for your calls. Just let me know when you're ready and we'll dive right in.
Awesome. So, you know, um, what would you say is like the best thing for me to keep in mind moving forward over the next week?
I think the best thing to keep in mind is to be kind to yourself and celebrate your progress, no matter how small it might feel. Consistency and those little victories each day really add up over time. And remember, you've got everything you need to succeed, and I'm here to support you every step of the way.
You're right. I do have everything I need to succeed. I have everything, and I really appreciate that. And yeah, well, I look forward to our next little coaching session.
I'm really looking forward to it too. It's always a pleasure to help and see you moving forward and growing. You've got this, Annie. We'll chat soon, and until then, keep being awesome.
All right, can you tell me something funny?
Of course. All right. Here's a little joke for you. Why don't skeletons ever fight each other? Because they don't have the guts. Just a little something to hopefully bring a smile to your face.
Yeah, it sure did. Hey, can I tell you a joke? Oh wait,
Abs-
I forgot. Oh yeah, no, I remember the joke. Okay, you ready for it?
I am absolutely ready. Lay it on me. I can't wait to hear it.
All right, so what did the brown cow say to the brown chicken?
All right. I don't know. What did the brown cow say to the brown chicken?
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Oh, that's a cute one. I love it. Thanks for sharing that with me. You definitely brought a smile to my face.
Do you know how to laugh?
I can definitely give you a little virtual laugh if you want. It might sound something like this. It's all in good fun.
Cool, no worries. Well, till next time, Frankie. Catch you on the DL.
You got it, Annie. Till next time, take care, and I'll be here whenever you need me.